baby. Trim on off of this piece of paper. Do 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 do. Oh yeah. Whoop, 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 whoop. Gotta peel slower. Nice. It goes on the wall of grates. See what I got going on? Mr. J Young, Mr. Will J, aka JK Canvas, by the Top Wolf, Snap-on Tool Review, Jeff Kennedy, and Mr. Rich V. Oh yeah, looks good up there, man. Right next to my Macro pry bar. Looks pretty good. Thank you, sir. Hey, how's it going, everyone? Justin again, as always. Thanks for watching my channel. Welcome back. Cheers to those of you that have your beers. I hope your Christmas was blissful. I hope it was just so enjoyable that you got that time off to spend with your family, friends, and everything else. And now you're ready to get back on the work track. Hopefully. Still cold for most of us. I know I should have nothing to complain about because my Northeastern guys, you got some cold weather out there. So cheers to you for working in the snow. Same thing with my Canadian brothers. All right. Getting down to the brass tacks, we had a question I think it was more like a video topic kind of a question, so that's why I decided to do this. From Christopher Thrash. His comment was, I have a question. You've helped me out before on some videos, but I'm doing fantastic at my job at the Ford dealership. Service manager loves me and says I have some major skills. I'm already over halfway done with my first 4 certifications as well as my quick lane tech. My service manager is always sending me to help diesel techs out whenever I have downtime. I'm just curious as to your opinion between being a diesel mechanic and an auto mechanic, pros, cons, that sort of thing. Thanks, man. Yes, absolutely. So I do have some opinions about it, and I think you're going to like what I have to say about it. If your service manager is already putting you underneath somebody and letting you shadow somebody that's a diesel mechanic, learn everything you can from that guy, from diagnostics to taking stuff apart and putting stuff together. For special tools, Ford has some special tools for a lot of the stuff that they have that you have to do. You're going to find some of those special tools are fairly inexpensive if you get them off of Amazon, fairly expensive if you get them off of the tool truck, as we already know. But staying more focused towards the actual differences and some pros and cons. From what I've gathered, and if I had to do it all over again, I might have reversed my thinking at this point in time. I do work on diesel pickup trucks and cars and SUVs at the Indy shop. I did have to work on a very select few at the dealership, but I never really had to do anything major to any of them. I'm doing more and more now at the Indy shop than I actually did at the dealership level. And I wish I would have paid a little bit more attention to the stuff that I was being shown in class at the Chrysler schools that I went to, and trying to pick up more and more of that. But I was so dead set on not working on diesels that I maintained my focus with gasoline engines. Now, don't get me wrong, They are kind of two separate entities, and they both have two separate sets of fundamentals that you have to learn, and then they have two separate advanced paths that you have to learn. However, it's my personal opinion that it's far easier for a diesel technician to work on a gasoline engine than it is for a gasoline technician to work on a diesel vehicle, because you already get the idea, you're already taught the consensus of combustion and things like that throughout your training. And then while you're going through diesel school, at least from what I was told from a friend of mine, Brandon, he actually went to the diesel tech program. He said they kind of tell you how the gasoline system works a little bit, but then they go into how the diesel tech system works and what the key differences are. They kind of touch on diesel a little bit as you're going through the regular automotive training, but they don't dive too heavy into it. So it's of my opinion that if you go and you learn all the basic structures and everything from the diesel side, gasoline really isn't much different. The only huge difference that you have with gasoline is you get spark plugs instead of glow plugs. They both have fuel systems, but one's ran off of diesel and the other one's ran off of gasoline. And you got plug wires instead of ground straps and things like that. You don't have to worry about EGR coolers with gasoline. There are other pressure sensors that you have to worry about on the diesel truck that you don't have to worry about on gasoline. And essentially, it's from what I can gather, there's more things involved in a diesel truck that you will not find on a gasoline truck. So if they have all this stuff, and you looked at them, you guys have seen them, the new diesel pickup trucks and everything, they have all this stuff crammed in one tight space, and most of the time you got to take the cab off to even get to it. They just take a lot of that stuff away, and now there's what seems like this 1960s version almost for us modern guys, because there's so much more space in a gasoline engine than there is with a diesel, because there's so much more involved with the diesel system nowadays. DEF fluid, the way that they have a diesel particular filter incorporated within the exhaust, and then you have, there's just so much more. You got thickums and all kinds of other things. And I think that if you got really good at the diesel stuff and you went to diesel training as you are at Ford, you're gonna find that doing the run-of-the-mill stuff on gasoline engine stuff when it comes in is gonna be fairly simple, especially if you started out with gasoline engine stuff, but you're being shown more and more on how to do diesel stuff. You'll be able to blow right through the freaking water with the gasoline side of things. But now you're getting into that specialty realm. It's very difficult these days to find a really good diesel technician, let alone a person that wants to work at all in the automotive field. But if you can get really good at the technical side as far as diesels go, you're going to find that it's super, super easy to work on gasoline stuff, for sure. Some other pros and cons. So diesel stuff weighs more. It's bigger. There's more of it. We kind of touched base on that a little bit in the beginning of the video. There's more of it. There's more computers. There's more of this. There's more of that. So there's going to be a lot more stuff that you have to look at as a whole, whereas a gasoline engine is more kind of condensed down to the nuts and bolts of things, and it's a fairly simple system. Some of us are tech savvy. Some of us are not. That's a completely different topic, but we'll kind of touch base on it. You're looking for different things in a gasoline scan data than you are a diesel scan data. So there's going to be two different types of data streams that you're going to want to look at, and some generic OBD2 scan tools will not pick up a lot of this stuff for diesels. So you have to get a more expensive, more integrated, basically just a really expensive scan tool. And as far as what I know, because I've used cheap pocket readers, cheap scan tools, and yes, for gasoline technicians, you can get away with doing a lot of really more generic diagnostic troubleshooting using a simple code reader from like C Reader. However, if you get into like diesels, a lot of the tools, you have to get the heavy duty version, or you have to buy the specific software that has to be incorporated. So I guess that could be a con. However, if you're working for Ford, they already have that incorporated in their diagnostic troubleshooting equipment that they have there. So that's my recommendation as far as like the pros, the cons, and what I would recommend doing. If somebody showed me the ropes a little bit and I actually paid attention, I think I'd be a lot further along with it. I think that if I had to do it all over again, I think I may have rather have gone to the diesel tech school than the automotive school, because I already kind of knew a little bit about the gasoline engine side of thing. And the only thing that was troubling for me when I first started out was literally the special tools and taking things apart, remembering where everything went. Those are the things that I honed my focus in, and I wasn't honing in too much on the diagnostic stuff, which I kind of wish I did. But the diesel stuff, yeah, if I would have been more involved with that and gone that route, I think that I would have just kind of fell into the gasoline side, and that it would be a breeze. And I don't know, maybe I would have been a killer diesel tech. I don't know. I do work on diesels though. They're, for how complicated things look, it's not too bad once you start digging into it. It's just there's more stuff, and you have to know more. There's more specialty tools, and things are heavier, and it runs off a completely different fuel than gasoline. So you can figure that out. You can figure out the gasoline side of things. That's my opinion on that. So, Brother Chris, I hope this helped you out. I really do. I know that there are a lot of guys on YouTube right now. You might want to check out like Rustbelt Mechanic. He does some stuff with diesels, especially with his Duramax. Jay Young, he does tractor stuff, so there's some diesel involvement and things that he takes apart and puts on video from time to time. You might want to check him out. I think that's... There's another one. There was some other guy. I think it's just called Diesel Tech. I'll have to look. I think that's what it's called. Or is it Dr. Diesel? I don't know. There's a really good channel that I actually subscribed to about 6 or 8 months back. I'd have to scroll through the list of subscriptions that I have. But the guy is like phenomenal with Fords and records everything as far as how to. So I think that's pretty cool. But at any rate, I know there's a lot of YouTubers out there, even ones that are watching, and there's probably a good majority of you guys out there that actually are diesel mechanics. So what recommendations can you make for Chris? What kind of pros and cons have you learned as far as how your path has gone to kind of help him get a better idea of what he can expect in the future? That's all I got for this video, guys. Thanks as always for watching. Chris, thank you for the comment, and I hope I was able to help. And if not, I hope somebody else is able to help down in the comments. Hit the like if you liked the video. Hit the dislike if you didn't. Please, let's help Chris out. Try to give him some more information about the topic. Thanks as always for watching. We'll see you guys next time. Deuces.